Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barik wa sallim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Thank you so much everyone for taking the time to click on this video and listen about courage. Courage is the ability to stand up for what is right no matter how difficult it is. It can mean so many different things to different people. But for me, courage is when the Sahaba and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stood up for Islam in a way that not many of us can. So, for example, one of the stories that we can learn and gain insight from is Sayyidah Khadijah radiallahu anha when she stood up and supported Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by accepting and trusting a brand new message when it was very uncommon during that time. That was courage. The fact that Sayyidah Khadijah believed in every single word that her husband Rasulullah SAW brought to her, and not hesitating or not doubting a single message. That is courage. And also we can learn from Rasulullah SAW's companion Abu Bakr as-Siddiq when he stood up and supported Rasulullah SAW in every single action and in every single step Rasulullah SAW took. And it was very difficult during that time when the whole of Quraysh, the whole of the people during that era was thinking that Rasulullah SAW bringing a false message, bringing a ridiculous message, right? But Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was courageous enough to be by Rasulullah SAW's side and to be his number one companion despite all the challenges that he had to go through. Another story that we can learn from our Prophet Nabi Musa alayhi salam, when he was very afraid to come back to Egypt to meet Fir'aun, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded him to go back to Egypt and to meet Fir'aun. Fir'aun was the most powerful ruler of that time. He was powerful, he controlled everything. So Nabi Musa alayhi salam was hesitant, but because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded him to go back to Egypt, he went. And what did he say? He recited the surah, he recited the dua, Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. An amazing dua if you want to prevent yourself from being scared or having that fear to do something that is right. So what Nabi Musa AS did was to recite that dua, that simple dua, Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. What does it mean? Ya Allah, please explain to me. Rabbi shrah li sadri. Please clear up my heart in order for me to be able to speak up, in order for me to be able to spread the message that you want me to spread. And then what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said? It's a promise from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said, قَالَ لَا تَخَافَا إِنَّنِي مَعَكُمَا أَسْمَعُ وَأَرَى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, do not be afraid. Okay, so Nabi Musa was feeling quite fearful because Fir'aun was the most powerful. He could do anything to Nabi Musa alayhi salam, right? He had every power. But because this is a command from Allah, Nabi Musa had to build up his courage and face Fir'aun. And Allah answered, Innani ma'akuma asma'u wa ara. I am with you and I listen and I hear and I see every single thing. So you have to have the courage to do what is right. All of our prophets, all of our companions from the previous time, they had the courage to stand up for Islam. They had the courage to stand up and defend Allah's religion. So right now, our challenges might be big for us, but back then, if we were to compare the challenges that the prophets had to go through, the companions had to go through in compared to the challenges that we are going through, it is very far. Meaning, Alhamdulillah, our challenges are not as difficult as the ones that the previous nation had to go through. Also, for example, Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, he had to build up his courage to leave his wife and his son in a barren land. Why? Just because it's a command from Allah. That is the courage. That is the courage that we might not be able to find right now. But because of his full submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he abide by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command. And at the end, subhanallah, because of his submission, Kaaba is being built because of that because of Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam's courage. There's another story also that we can learn from is when Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam went out of his house and started to destroy all of the idols. Alright, he was going against his family, his father. The religion back then was his father's pride. It was everything for his father and his family and his relatives. But he was submissive to God and he went out and destroyed all of the idols and go against his family just to spread the message of Islam. So basically, inshallah, with the will of Allah, as long as you have the sincerity to do the right thing, and Allah will give you the courage that you need. Okay, and if you are struggling to do the right thing, for example, despite all the obstacles that are happening, all the challenges that you have to face through, you can just recite the dua, the very, very simple and popular dua. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli, and Allah will be with you and He will guide you throughout and He will give you a makhraj, right? وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهِ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. As long as you have taqwa with Allah, as long as you do the right thing, Allah will give you a doorway, an open door to ease your current condition. Alright, so thank you so much for your time. I apologize for any flaws and may we gain some benefits and insights from the session. Shukran.